Hello and welcome to this session. I am Raghav from Automation Step by Step, and today we are going to see a very interesting demo on how we can run our Cypress tests on Lambda test platform. This is going to be very easy and very interesting, and I will go very basic step by step. So let's get started. And step number one is we have to install Node.js. Now you can check if Node.js is already installed on your system. You can go to your command line, or you can also go to your terminal in case of Mac. So I'm on my Windows system. I will go to command prompt and you can run the command node space hyphen hyphen version or node space hyphen v, and this will give you the version of node in case it is installed. I can also check the npm version, npm space hyphen v or npm space hyphen hyphen version. This will give the version of npm. Now just in case node or npm is not installed, you can install node on your system. You just have to go to install node.js and you will get this website from where you can download and install Node.js. Also, the initial few steps that I'm going to show you is for setting up Cypress. Just in case you do not have it, you can go to my website, that is automationstepbystep.com, and here you will find a tutorial. So if you see here, there is a tutorial on Cypress, and if you go here, it will take you to my YouTube playlist on Cypress, and here you can watch this tutorial, prerequisite and setting up Cypress environment, and here you will get all the details on setting up Node and setting up Cypress, and everything you will get here. So once you have Node, you can open your IDE. In case you are already using some IDE for Cypress, you can continue with that, else you can use Visual Studio Code. So in my case, I have VS Code here, and again, just in case you are completely new to Visual Studio Code, you can again go to my website and you can find tutorial on Visual Studio Code here. And once you have VS Code open, we will create a new folder for our Cypress project, and then we will open this folder in VS Code. So I will go to my folder. I'm going to my D drive. This is where I keep all my projects, and here I'm going to create a new folder. Now you can follow this on Mac as well. You can do the same steps there, and here I will say this is Lambda test Cypress demo. You can name it anything, and I will now open this in VS Code. You can drag and drop, or I can go here. You can say we have a open folder link here, or you can go to file and say open folder from here, or you can go to the explorer, here it is, and we can open the folder from here as well. So I will go to my D drive, projects, and I have my folder here. I will select, and this opens in VS Code, and of course it is empty. We do not have any file as of yet here. And then step number 4 is we have to open the terminal on VS Code, and then I will run the command npm init -y. Now this is optional. I am doing this so that I can initialize a node project in this folder, and it will take care of all my dependencies, and everything will be local on this folder. So instead of getting all the libraries or installing the node libraries globally on the system, I just want to keep it on this particular folder. So I will go and open the terminal. So here on my VS Code, you can go here to the top menu, and here is terminal, and you can say new terminal. You can also press control and backtick key. This is the key just below your escape key, and this will open terminal here. And now I will say here npm init -y. So this will initialize a node project, and it will also create a package.json file, and here you can have your project name. So this is my project name. You can give some version, some description, and then once you add any node libraries in this folder, you will also see a section for that. So with this, I can manage all the libraries, and I can keep everything within this local folder without interfering with any of the global libraries on this system. So now next step is step number 5, and now I will install Cypress using the command npm install Cypress. So here I will say, let me clear the terminal, and I will say npm install Cypress, and this will install the latest version of Cypress. In case you want to install a specific version, you can say npm install Cypress at the rate and give the specific version number, so that will download and install that particular version. So this is done, and if you now see in package.json, we have got a dependencies section and it says Cypress here. So once we have done this, I can also check the version of Cypress by using the command npx cypress-v. So I can say here, and I'm using npx because I'm in this local folder, and this gives me the version of Cypress here. So this is step number 5. Now step number 6 is we will run the command npx cypress open, and this will also create some sample tests. So I will say here npx cypress open, and it has also created this Cypress integration folder which has some examples under the examples folder. Step number 7 is now we have to install npm install -g lambdatest-cypress-cli. Now you can also go to the official documentation for this. So if I go to lambdatest Cypress, I'll just search for this, and you will get the official documentation on this. So here it is. You can directly copy all these commands from here. Yes, it is here. So you can see all these steps. I will go and just copy the command, which is this one, npm install -g lambdatest-cypress-cli. If you want, you can do it without the -g flag. So I'll copy and come here. Let me close the Cypress GUI, and here I will say I will clear this, and I will paste the command, and I will hit enter. This will install lambdatest-cypress-cli, and this is done. After this, I can use the lambdatest cypress configuration file, and I can create the file by using lambdatest-cypress init. So I will say here, so after installing the lambdatest CLI, you can use the lambda test command. I will say lambdatest-cypress init, and you can see it creates this configuration file lambdatest-config.json, and this is where you can give all your settings. You can provide your lambdatest username access key, you can provide the browsers and the platforms that you want to run your tests on, and then you can see all the other settings here, the run settings, the build name. If you want to do any parallel testing, you can set it here, the spec file, locations, all this you can do here. So everything you can do here. And now once you have done this, we have to update the credentials and other settings. So now I can go on my LambdaTest account. So just log into your LambdaTest account. I will search for LambdaTest, and I'll go to the website lambdatest.com, and I will log into my account. Now I have already shown in the earlier video all the introduction and demo on LambdaTest, so you can watch that. If you want to explore the platform, I will directly log in here, and here you can either go to your profile, you can go to your user here, and you can go to profile to get your username and API key, or you can go to the automation section here and click on this key icon, and you can copy your username and access key from here. So I will copy my username and put it in the configuration file here, and similarly I will copy the access key and paste it here. And then I will have to select the browsers and platforms, so I can give as many browser platforms I want to use. For now, let me just test with a single browser and check. So I will run on Chrome browser on Windows 10 platform, and the version of Chrome I am using is 86.0. So this is done. Also, if you see here, we have to provide the location where our spec files are. So here, if you see, all the examples or the spec files are under the integration and examples folder. Now I can create some new test. I can use any existing test as well. So let me see. Let me open the Cypress GUI and I will run a test and check if it is running fine. So I will say npx cypress open and I will run this first test, that is action.spec.js, and let me see. So it is loading the test and yes, looks like it is running fine. So it has lots of tests, I think, and it is running here and everything is done. It is running fine. So I can try running this particular test, and I can first I can give the location of this spec file here. I can also give it in the command. I will show you that, but let me for now right click and say copy relative path, and I will copy this path here. So I will say this is the relative path and I will close the Cypress GUI. And now step number 10 is I have to run the test on LambdaTest platform. I can use the command lambdatest-cypress run. So I will say here on the terminal lambdatest-cypress and I will say run. Now I can use -s or --spec and give the location of a particular spec file, but because I have already given the location or the path of the spec file in the configuration file, I can directly use this. So let me say lambdatest cypress run, and if you see here, I'm getting all this is running fine. If I check my Lambda test platform and let me see. So I will give a different build name so that I can actually get a new build there. So I will say this is Cypress tests build and I will save this and I will run it again. And this is fine. Let me now check on my Lambda test platform. And you can see this is here Cypress test build just ran 12 seconds ago, and I can go inside and you can see all this. You can see this is the test that ran action specs.js. This is exactly what we wanted. This is the environment, and here if I go and check the details of this particular test, so as of now the status is showing as queued because it is, I think, running some earlier test as well, and now it is running. So you can see it is running now. So very soon we will see the video recording and we can also see all the logs and commands. And meanwhile, let me try to create another custom test. So the first thing I will do is I want to record using Cypress Studio. So I will go to cypress.json file, and here I will say I will give a setting called experimental studio. Now in case you have seen my Cypress videos, you will know that we use this to use the Cypress Studio so that we can do recording. So I will say experimental studio true, and then under my Cypress integration folder, I'm going to create a new file. I will say this is my first test.spec.js. So I created this file here, and then I will create a describe block. I'll say describe. I will say Cypress tests and give a function. And I can also create a test by using a it block. I will say this is first test, and again I will give a function here, and I'm not adding any steps here. Let me just delete all this. So I'm not adding any steps manually. I will do a recording, and for that I will start my Cypress GUI. I will say npx cypress open. There is a mistake. This is function, and this is fine now. So if I open my Cypress, you can see here I have got my first test here. I will click this. This opens the Chrome browser. Now if you see here, we are getting this option to add commands to the test, and I can add a new test as well to this describe block. I will just go here and say add commands to test, and now I can do a recording. So here let us say I will go to some demo website, and here I can do some testing. So I will go here, I'll paste this URL, and you will see as I'm recording here, you will also see all these steps getting recorded. So here you can see it says visit to this site. Then let us say I will add a name here, and I will click on a radio button. All that I'm doing is getting recorded. I will select something from here and everything. I will click on this button, and once I have done, I will click on save test, and it will rerun the test, and it is rerunning the test. And then I will close this, and if you see here in my file, I have got all these commands are auto generated, and now I can try to run this. So in my lambdatestconfig.js file, I will say I can give the folder location, that is Cypress integration, and I can also drag and drop this actionspec.js in the integration folder, and I can show you how to run in parallel. But just for now, let me try running this, and before I do this, I will close the Cypress GUI, and I will also check my Lambda test. So let me see the latest status of our earlier tests. So this is fine. You can see it shows me that it is completed. I can just go and check the details. So here is the test, and you can see the start time, end time, duration, status, everything here, and the platform environment. I can go inside the test and I can see the recording. So you can see it is running the test, and we can also see the commands here. So these are all the Cypress commands, and we can see the logs, and I can see the metadata, all the information here. Here is the input config, and this is running fine. So let me now also add two tests in this folder. So I will also put this actions back in the integrations folder, so that I have two tests here. And then to run in parallel, I can either put this here, parallels, I can say 2, or I can also give it in the command. So let me just put here parallels 2, and I will run the command lambdatest cypress run, and let us see here in the LambdaTest platform on the LambdaTest account. I should see this running. So you can see this is going to the same build, and it is in running status as of now. So this is in running status, and this is the start time, and once this is over, we will be able to see the logs. And here we have done step number 10. Now for parallel testing, we can add a command. As I told you that we can add -p or -- parallels and give the number of parallel sections. So you can say lambda test hyphen cypress run hyphen hyphen parallel and give the number of parallel runs or parallel instances you want. Now before you do that, also check your account how many parallel instances are allowed in your account. So you can go to your lambda test platform and go to the account section and check this. And the second way is, as we have done now, we can add the parallel setting in the lambdatestconfig.json file as we have done here. So you can see here I have set parallels to, and this will run two instances in parallel. So here now if I go and check, so if I go to this build, okay, so looks like now this is done, and now I can check. So if I see the video recording, we should see two tests. Okay, I believe there was a mistake. I have to give the location here, so I will have to say I'll have to copy the relative path and I have to give it here, and I will say here star.js so that it can find all the matching files here, and then I will say let me also give the different build. I will say Cypress test build 1, and now I will run the command, and now let me see here in the automation dashboard. So this is the new build and looks like this is queued for now, and you can see it is now running both of these tests. Both are in running status, both are running in parallel. So you can see the start time, this is the same start time, that means both are running in parallel. And if I check here, you can see these both are running here. So let's just wait for this to get completed. If I check the commands, we don't have any commands as of now. This will get updated once we have the test executed. But yeah, we can see the logs. So you can see this got executed. So first test got executed. I should be able to see the recording. So let me just see the recording for the first test. So here it opens the browser and you can see the website. It is running all the steps and everything is running fine. So this is how we can do parallel testing with Lambda test platform, and this is the link to the official documentation. You will always find all the commands, all the latest updates here. So this will be very handy and very useful. You will also see all the command options. So these are all the steps that we have already done, and if I scroll down, you can see all these commands, and these are some options that you can use with the commands. So all this will be very helpful. You can do a hands-on and you can see all these commands and options. So with this, I believe this was very useful and you can do hands-on. Let me know if you face any issues. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon, and never stop learning.